3 half track out from Seb. So if all these tanks and all these little units weren't enough, he's going to throw in a half track and just spice things up a bit more. And this is definitely what I think this should start making sense to you guys, this random unit generator. I mean, you really have every single different combination of guys out. You have flamers, you have engineers with a minesweeper, you have M8s, you have jeeps, you have half tracks, you have basically everything except tank depot units, really.
And if you notice, while this is all going over in the west, you see this MG actually playing with the stormtrooper squad. He's bouncing back and forth in between staying in the house, getting out of the house, dodging and bundled nades and everything of the sort.
And there's that little passive aggressive warfare. But this is where the clash is happening right now. The stew is basically the sort of driving force. I mean, as soon as you see these artillery sort of shells coming down, it brings a sense of impressiveness to the battle. Got assault grenades coming out soon.
That half-track did a good job, though.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Suppressing those units. I love those things.
They're kind of underused.
Oh, triple vet sniper. Oh, definitely, I agree.
And the sniper's definitely making its mark on this field, taking out the support guns and helping out with the infantry.
Well, I mean, it's got 23 kills, so I mean, it's definitely doing a good job. Has definitely paid itself off.
But now it seems the whole Wehrmacht army has been forced back to its base, pretty much.
Now, this is what I keep on meaning about.
Is that a tiger?
Ooh, yes, we do have the tiger. But this is definitely what I mean about the bully on the field, the stew. I mean, he's just been parked there basically the entire time. He's only falling back when a Panzer Strike squad is coming upon him. And here we go, the tiger is parking himself up forward as well. Just going to be pushing the allies back. Because they really, in terms of anti-tank, do not have much.
Something
he
I
has
love
stickies,
about...
though.
Yeah, he does have stickies, and that can hold down a tiger for a decent chunk of time. But something I love about what CrazyTiger's doing here is he's really not overextending himself. He's not pushing those tanks up too far and getting himself trapped. Of course, there, as I say it, he runs over a mine, gets a damage engine on his tiger, and is in range of an AT gun.
How unfortunate is that?
Good placement.
And that's what I like about this game. I mean, there's quite a number of mines across the battlefield right now, and definitely in strategic places. But Seb, I would definitely say he doesn't have a set build order. I mean, usually a lot of people would try to counter stuff with AT guns right now, and all the anti-tank. And funnily enough, he is doing that. But then again, he still has all these units alive. He's just trying to make the best of what he can, of what he has.
Yeah, and the search on that stew deflecting that sticky, so it doesn't actually do anything to it to speak of.
But it seems like CrazyTiger's making a bit of a push. He's got the VP on the left side now. In terms of points, the Wehrmacht has 219, and Seb has 114. So Seb is definitely halfway down compared to CrazyTiger.
Yeah, and that stew over there is up to 20 infantry kills through the whole process of it. Which makes it almost as good as the American sniper, but not quite.
Seems like a sniper's more accurate than a stew.
CrazyTiger. Yeah. He doesn't know it, but he could have that whole right side uncontested.
Yeah. And I think what happened over there was his set with the MG and the stormtroopers over there, because he lost that battle and the stormtroopers were pushed off. I think he was pretty much kind of assuming that Seb would be kind of over there, or it would be fairly heavily fortified.
This is the sort of unfortunate thing. I mean, CrazyTiger, I mean, he's got a stew and a tiger on the left-hand side. he can't really move that away because these are the main anti-infantry that he has right now. If he moves that away, then he's probably going to lose the left-hand side, and that's why maybe he's a bit reluctant to actually start capping away on the right-hand side. But we have more mines coming down from Seb, obviously in strategic places, just wherever a tank could basically roll.
You know, it's funny throughout the replay competition, Krebs. You know how we've made comments about put mines down, people will run over them. It sometimes doesn't even matter where you put them. If you watch the heat maps on a lot of the games, as we've looked at them through, you know, the replay analyzer and those kind of things, just to keep track of them all, you see heat maps on these games where there are units that cover practically every square inch of these maps. And, you know, of course, strategic placement for mines, great things, but mines in general, probably a good idea.
I would definitely say so. Even just putting them in random places. I know, like, you know, putting them in random places, you would think, oh yeah, who would actually step on them? But then again, you'd actually be quite surprised how many times people would, you know, just go in random places and step on these things. And here we go. I see rockets flying across the map. Where is that coming from?
That would be from Seb's first Calliope.
So Calliope #1 making a signature move. And we have a little mortar going out. A few...
Drop the Shrek.
Ooh. There's quite a bit of losses on the field right now. The half-track was unfortunately taken out. Rifleman squad taken out. No losses right now for CrazyTiger except that little mortar.
Is he going
you
to
see,
kill, I think?
in between all of that, you have stormtroopers that are actually starting to attack the base of the American.
Oh, that's right. They're actually inside there. So there we go. This is quite uncontested right now. There's base destruction happening against Seb's base. Unfortunately, this is one of the good things and bad things about a diversity of units. Now, it looks definitely very, very pretty. Seb has definitely been doing a good job at using his units as effectively as possible. But that's put him in sort of a vulnerable position right now, since he can't really defend his base.
Yeah, and that's one of the things with depending on light vehicles. You know, light vehicles are, arguably speaking, a little harder to save than infantry is. Infantry, you can you know, retreat and get back, you know, kind of renew back. Yes, with light vehicles you can repair them, but there's very little that stops infantry on a retreat path. And so the light vehicles with damaged engines and everything that can go on with that, you risk losing them. And so you have to be very, very careful, especially when you're using your light vehicles as your primary capping unit.
That's one of the unfortunate things, like early on, those Jeeps, those losses. This is why I'd sort of recommend Riflemen over Jeeps, just because you don't lose them as easily. But Seb, this is the thing, he is just making best of what he can use, and that's what I admire about this. Just because if you were given such a random build order, how would you make the most of it? All in all, if we look at the map, it's pretty much half-half right now, so Seb overall right now is just done a superb job in using the best out of he can of those units. Out of such an unusual build order.
Greatness, right now, you know, I'm sure you see Seb is saving up for what looks like is a Pershing. Do you really think that's what he needs to be going?
No, he lost way too much infantry. You don't want to risk dropping below 100 points right now.
I kind of feel like it would be hard to get back the points.
Right, exactly, yeah.
He definitely needs infantry, but then again, his base was destroyed. I mean, all he has is a motor pool and his headquarters. The only thing I could imagine is maybe probably getting more engineers. But then it becomes quite difficult.
Well, no, I mean, with 900 manpower points, you can get your barracks up immediately, and
you could do that, definitely.
you start pumping out units. Yeah.
Yeah, And I think though that outlines a very good move by CrazyTiger in this regard in taking out that barracks, and the WSC. He really limited Seb's options right at this point without putting even more delay on the field before more units are coming out.
The funny thing is, even though he has a Pershing out, with Raid he can still at least cap points.
Light vehicles.
Light vehicles, that's right, yeah.
Tanks.
But unfortunately, well, I suppose he could get more M8s, but then again, might not be the best of things right now.
No, and you have to be careful because right now this Pershing really isn't a match for a Vet 3 Tiger. As a matter of fact, almost never is a Pershing a match for a Vet 3 Tiger.
Oh no, you would definitely not think
Never,
so.
no. Well, that shot pinged off.
Even when penetrating the front armor, he's hardly doing any damage against it. And that was just like a little sort of fist fight in a way.
Yeah, they're just trading shots, but he'll probably be forced back.
And I think with everything slowing up, of course, CrazyTiger brings out a motorcycle to take down this sniper that's been plaguing him the whole game long.
I think it's about time. 36 kills
Oh.
from the sniper. I think it's definitely needed.
And I love that move. He jumped into the building and then jumped out of the other side of the building just to avoid getting hit from the motorcycle.
And he's doing it again, so it's becoming a little sort of tag show. Unfortunately, coming out the wrong side. He needs to come out the other side. And there we go. But Shitwagon obviously a bit afraid of chasing it down now, considering that the Pershing is right there in his face. But I sort of get a sense that Seb, even though he's on the back foot right now, he's really quite calm about it. I mean, he's obviously playing around with his sniper, just moving it in and out of buildings, just trying to dodge a Shimwagon. Overall, he's quite calm, and luckily, this Tiger tank was taken out. That's very good. So some sort of hope, at least.
Well, yeah, and that amount of time spent waiting for the Calliope barrage to go off and everything, it allowed his points to tick down to a desperate level, and here we're going to see the end of the game.
That's right, and we actually got an M8 on the field, just capping away at the victory point, so at least using that raid a wee bit. And another M8 as well, so as I was saying, another good thing, and that's the end of the replay actually, but I suppose one of the things that he could have done was get more M8s out and just try and cap some points that way. But anyway, that was number 2 in the replay competition. Now, what really stood out to me in that game was, as I've been stressing this entire replay, is just the fact that how random this build order has been. I mean, this is definitely something I have not seen in a long time.